So the one thing to put about the Argmax, sort of in the context of NLP, which is that finding the Argmax of models, probability models, is sort of how NLP has often done inference in a wide variety of cases. So for models that do parsing to machine translation, NLP people have spent quite a bit of time developing efficient algorithms to compute the Argmax. So I think one thing that's interesting to take away from the discussion of modes in the Argmax is that there's a huge cognitive bias in NLP to prefer the Argmax or the Argmax solution, even though, as we're going to get to, it might not be the best idea in text generation. So one thing that's important, and this is sort of a hand-wavy discussion of an information theoretic principle known as the typical set, which is that if you think about the way high dimensional distributions end up looking, most typical elements tend not to look like the Argmax. So a simple example of this is that if you trained a language model on web text, you might expect these two sentences on the right to be very high probability, perhaps the most high probability sentence. So for instance, 404, error, page not found. You're likely to see that all over the internet. However, there's sort of a sense that can be made formal that we would not like to say that this is a typical sentence. This is not a typical English language sentence. That is, despite being the highest probability, it doesn't look like most sentences. So this is sort of an intuition why we might not want the Argmax, and we might want to find generated sentences that are more common to sort of the typical one.